Welcome to West Indies, where the sun always shines and the profit always soars. Come explore great opportunities in these colonies. Our lakes and our great environments are all managed by our environmental specialist, Elias.
The West Indies have an incredible environment. We have beautiful waters, as you'll see, these crystalline blue waters of our islands. However, there are some things that we may want to consider. If you come over here, the mosquitoes of the land are incredibly dangerous. They carry large amounts of diseases as well, such as malaria. Even worse, however, is the great storms of hurricanes that we discovered here. When we arrived, we underestimated their power, and they killed hundreds.
Now the main reason why you came here is to get rich. Now, we have a variety of things to do in the West Indies. But first, we have hunting, we have farming, cash crops, and we have fishing. Now all these economic activities, they are a great way to get rich. But mainly, we use a labor force of enslaved people.
In the West Indies, Christianity was the most dominant religion upon them, but they also practiced Hinduism, Islam, and some traditional Caribbean religions. Introducing Christianity to our enslaved people increased their chances of emancipation and the survival for African religions, which allowed many enslaved people to keep parts of their old religion that they used to practice.
Our colonies are governed by a mix of local councils and royal government. We're here to ensure fair trade and law for all citizens.
Extremely fair.
Very fair. Like those people right there.
It's very favorable to them. They get a place to live, they get a place to work, and we get money.
Yeah.
There were many significant people of the British West Indies. The first one I want to talk about is Juan de Bolis. He was the first chief of the Maroons, originally an African slave, but he escaped with a party of slaves when the Spanish left the island of Jamaica. The Spanish let him free so that he would make a militia to attack the British who were invading the island. In his attacks of the British, he eventually realized that the Spanish had no chance of winning, and so he switched sides. When he switched sides, his allyship was instrumental in the British defeating the Spanish, as he led the British to an encampment of Spanish and massacred them. The second man I want to talk about is Juan de Ceres. He was one of the first Jamaican Maroon chiefs who also escaped when the Spanish left. However, unlike Juan de Bolis, he stayed with the Spanish. After the whole war thing and the Spanish lost, he continued fighting the British and never stopped, even after killing Juan de Bolis. Him and his Maroon group sort of just meshed with the rest of Maroon society.
Now, you may be asking, what kind of significant events do we have here in the West Indies? Well, first of all, it's the establishment of the European colonies. Now, this happened in around the 1620s, 1650s, and the early 17th century saw the establishment of many colonies by the British, French, Dutch, Spanish, and they all were interested in farming here and all the economic opportunities that we have. Now, another more, let's say, unfortunate thing that we do is we had a large growth in the enslaved people trade. Now, this enslaved people trade expanded rapidly due to the proliferation of cash crops that were grown here. And as I was saying, the trade of workers is something that we're not so proud of, but it's what keeps us rich and strong, and it's good for people who want to immigrate to here.
Well, that was all for the West Indies. Anyway.
Hey, get back here!
Joining the West Indies is warnings of the following: slavery, human rights violations, war, violence, unemployment, enslaved people revolts, no representation, no democracy, diseases including malaria, STDs, smallpox, measles, eczema, elephant fever and diarrhea, intestinal worms, tuberculosis, lung disease, dengue fever.